While the world's $7.2 billion transportation system of planes, trains, automobiles, and major thoroughfares of connectivity were developed, historically, men were the driving factor. That is, until women rightfully started shattering the glass ceiling.
There were so few of us women in transportation professional positions at the time, and we sought the company of each other so that we could network, so that we could learn from each other, so that we could promote opportunities for each other. And we found in that sisterhood
full steam ahead with a mission to ensure women became less anomalous in transportation. Susan Nugent, the first president of WTS Atlanta, signed the chapter's Articles of Incorporation on August 26, 1982.
When I signed the Articles of Incorporation in 1982, I felt, of course, a great deal of excitement that we had launched WTS Atlanta. I joined many others in feeling that it was a new pathway, a new opportunity for us to be able to work together, to advance faster, to learn from each other, and to support each other.
Since that signing, the chapter has grown into a force propelling the international organization's mission to advance women in all levels of their careers in transportation. It all started with monthly meetings.
It was obviously not easy to be the only woman in the room. It was a matter of trying to be recognized for our own talents and abilities. We struggled to be taken seriously. We struggled not to be talked over, and we struggled to have our ideas presented fairly. And we helped each other in that we were able to exchange stories, and we had stories.
With each president, the chapter has grown stronger in numbers, mentorship, and sustained impact.
I'm most proud of the fact that we were really able to diversify our membership during the years that I was president, that we were able to attract people from a really wide variety of organizations, people who did a lot of different things in the transportation profession. And as we grew that way, that was very valuable to giving such a broad base to the organization that we could be stable.
I'd say my biggest accomplishment was exactly that, to dream into a bigger vision of what WTS could be in the Atlanta transportation community and in Georgia. We were able to get the governor of Georgia to come speak at our scholarship luncheon, and that was just the most exciting thing ever because everyone was attracted to come to the program. We didn't even have to market it. Suddenly, we were the place to be.
Today, boasting more than 200 female and male members, WTS Atlanta has served as a boon in equity, accessibility, and scholarship for women in an otherwise male-dominated industry.
We also upped the amount of programming that we offered to our members, so we committed to doing an event, a technical tour, or a technical session at least once a month. And we're able to deliver that successfully over the 2 years that I was president. And I think as a result, our membership has continued to grow as a chapter. It is really seen as one of the highest valued professional organizations to be a part of in the Metro Atlanta area.
We hosted the WTS International Conference in Atlanta for the first time ever. It was a great way to showcase everything we'd accomplished as a chapter and to show off our city and the transportation leadership that we have. And it's very appropriate now because we are hosting the national conference again next year in 2023.
Our greatest achievement during my tenure was probably the proactive outreach to the public sector to engage them in the organization. We hosted the inaugural GDOT board breakfast, which has become a successful annual event. We also hosted events with our legislators and other public agencies. I believe this really fostered more participation from these groups and an awareness of the organization and our mission.
WTS Atlanta's programs grew to showcase its force both locally and on an international front.
We had 2 women's builds with the Atlanta Habitat for Humanity, which was awesome. Many of the women in WTS participated in actually building homes. We also won Chapter of the Year from our WTS International organization, which was fantastic.
Even the COVID-19 pandemic could not stop the evolving sphere of influence, which is WTS Atlanta.
We were very successful at switching over into a virtual platform during the pandemic. We are very used to having our monthly programs that range from lunch and learns to tours, programs for our small businesses. And it was just very important to still keep our members engaged, being that we could not meet in person.
From salary negotiations to ascending through the transportation ranks, WTS Atlanta has a 40-year legacy of creating opportunity, developing talent, and most of all, making sure everyone has a seat at the table.
So for me, the most important and valuable thing about WTS Atlanta are the people and the relationships that you build. And so I'm excited to say that in the last couple of years, we have increased our membership by about 25%, and we have increased our support contributions from our corporate partners by almost double.
Through 40 years of leadership and branding development, WTS Atlanta proves how critical this chapter is in ensuring women are at the forefront of transportation decisions and development.
One of the things we did at WTS Atlanta is we toured what is now Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. We were invited to come in and have a hard hat work boots tour of the new terminal, which of course now is the magnificent Hartsfield-Jackson terminal, but we saw it before anybody else did.
WTS Atlanta was critical back when I was president because we needed to be seen as a credible body of professionals. And WTS Atlanta is critical now because the world is a very dynamic place, and we bring some great perspectives to the conversations that we're having.
It provides a space where people come together in spite of their technical expertise, rather than just have engineers getting together or planners getting together where the conversation, the topics are quite homogeneous. Instead, you have this interdisciplinary, rich bed of innovation.
WTS Atlanta is critical because though our nation and the industry has made strides in advancing women in the workplace, we still have many miles to go.
WTS Atlanta is critical because we support our leaders in appointments to key positions.
Because it is the one place where we're really advocating for equity and representation of women in our industry.
And our very theme is the great intersection, which is sort of where transportation and equity meets. And so certainly WTS has risen to the challenge of, and is not tone deaf to the challenges that we face in the equity space.
WTS is critical because it provides visibility for women business owners, and it promotes mentorship for others with their peers within the industry.
It's great to get to meet others that maybe have gone through the challenges you're going through, or maybe going through them at the same time as you.
You know, one of the interesting things to me, and it's a reflection of our society as a whole, is that looking back at 1982 in those early years, we were talking about opportunities for women. Today, we're talking about equity in a way that is much broader than just for women, but for all women and all men. The achievement of equity is what I am looking forward to in the future for WTS.
WTS Atlanta, congratulations on 40 years of sending the number of women in transportation soaring to new heights.